Tesla just released one of the biggest software upgrade they have ever pushed in the form of a spring upgrade 2024.14, and they changed so many different things. The settings that used to be in one location have been now moved to different locations. They added a ton of new features, made improvement to the visualization, and I want to cover all of that here in the video today. I am not here to read you through the release notes and go line by line. You can do that yourself. I'm here to actually show you what changed, where the settings used to be, where they are now, what new features that they added, and do a driving demo to show you what changed. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Shiva Sapkoda. I make Tesla videos covering a wide range of Tesla topics, but more specifically, latest and greatest Tesla accessories from aftermarket products, and show you detailed step-by-step installation guide and share my honest opinion about the product along with the discount code. If you find today's video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get started. So let's start with the biggest change that they made with this upgrade, which is this immersive view while you go inside the car. I updated the car and came in and I was like, whoa, that totally changes and it looks more of a refreshed version of my car. And that's the greatness of Tesla. They keep sending software upgrade to make their cars better over time, and this view is just amazing to see. Here it looks very futuristic. Along with this view, they also added some of those, you could press and then open the front and trunk. Now they added that so that it looks more of a minimized view, but you can still press here, and if you say open, no problem, but now you can pause it. So midway through, if you have a tight garage, you want to pause the trunk and just open it halfway, then you are able to do that here without going to try to force that trunk. You can always adjust the trunk if you have a lower garage and all of that. But this one allows you to just open the trunk partly so that you can get your stuff, especially if you know that the top is tight, then you can just close it. And even closing, you can pause the trunk. So that gives you that much flexibility just with the software upgrade. They figured this out. Everything else is still the same, where you can unlock and lock the car, but this immersive view is definitely worth talking about. Look at that, they changed the look of the Tesla. With this immersive view also came this navigation icon here. So it is kind of blended within the screen, very nicely blended. It's not square borders or anything, and you can click on it to bring up the full screen navigation, or if you swipe it towards the right, you always have that. And if we were to put the car into drive, you can still expand this and get the navigation on the right. That was not available in the past, where if you swipe this FSD visualization towards the right, then you lost the navigation altogether. But now they brought the navigation back here so that you can have all of that options. And if we were to, let's say, start navigating, so the navigation screen comes through, we can still minimize this and still see the navigation, turn by turn navigation right there, which is really cool. We'll come back to some of the navigation changes while we're driving to show you some of the progress bar and everything, but let's finish talking about the visual update and everything that they changed here. Here on the bottom, you can see that they added the navigation in large font instead of being on the top, and they added the audio player here with more settings directly here, where you can go to equalizer, like dislike, you can go play, pause, next, search. Everything is kind of in a large font here, so that has been added. You can still do the audio view on a minimized view. So right here, you still have the audio, and in the past you would have to scroll up to get all of this information. Now you don't have to scroll up to see all of that info. It is here. You can still minimize this, but when you minimize it, instead of completely going away, it kind of stays here. So you see the song, the name, and you can press on it to go to that setting. You still have the charge stat, you still have the tire pressure here. That did not change. So that's one of the visual changes that they made with this upgrade. Now, the lock and unlock, the driver profile and Sentry mode is closer towards the driver, and then the time and temperature is further away from the driver. This used to be closer to the driver and vice versa. Now they changed that so that it would be easier for you to access the driver profile. And even on a minimized view, you see that information here on the top, much closer to the driver, so you can easily select through it, have a Sentry mode, and then the time and temperature is moved towards the right. Another change that I have noticed is they changed the energy bar to here towards the left instead of being on the top. So the acceleration as well as the regenerative braking will be seen here on the left side as a vertical, and they also increase the font size of the speed. So while you are speeding, you'll see the font size go up and the energy bar the acceleration versus deceleration has been changed so that you will now see it on the left instead of seeing it on the top. So accelerate, decelerate, and you'll see that bar there. As I said earlier, they increased the font of the speedometer in the top left, and it is more natural, it's closer to my eye while driving, and you can see the maximum autopilot speed as well as the speed limit right there on the left, top left corner. So that makes it a little bit easier to view as well. Another visual change that they have made is with the charging screen. So if your vehicle is charging, it will show all the charging stat on the left instead of being it on top here. They have moved the battery icon towards the left, well in full screen view. But if you want to bring up the battery menu, you can just easily press here on the battery, and then the battery menu pops up and you'll be able to see all of that information just as usual. But now you see a little bit more information here, including the charge rate, the voltage, all of that information directly in front of you. In the left side, also see the charge limit. We didn't used to see that. And if we were to change this from miles to the kilowatt, you will see the kilowatt here, how much kilowatt has been added and all of that stats just by clicking there. So they changed that to make it towards the left. You also see this pretty cool battery animation going up and down, letting you know that your car is charging. Another awesome thing they added here is the one-time charge. So let's say you're going on a trip tomorrow and you're like, you know what, I don't want the 80%. I want the charge to be 100% fully charged. If you slide this through, Tesla will ask you, this charge only? So how about we just keep that to 100% for just this one and just say one-time charge only? Then what happens is, after this charge, the Tesla is going to automatically revert this percentage to 80% max. So it allows you to schedule that in a sense that the day before your trip, if you want to just set this to 100, it'll just do it one time and then it'll revert it back to 80% max the next time. Now, while we're still in this main screen here, another change that they made is on the all apps icon. If you go here, you're going to see a couple of things added. One is Audible. Now you have access to Audible. They also made it so on your Spotify, you can sync up your playing queue and the playback speed and all of that through our different devices as well as through our different cars if you're logged into Spotify. And the other changes that they have made here is the navigation icon. As well as the climate. So if you look at the navigation icon, that looks different than what we used to see. They changed that so it looks very easily identifiable as a navigation icon. The climate is another thing that they changed, perhaps because they didn't want people to just get confused if you are new to Tesla about, is this the climate or where? So now with the climate icon, you can just press and hold on this icon and then just bring it to your dock, and it will just stay there permanently. So now when you press on this one, the climate icon pops up. So making it a little bit easier for people to understand how the climate control works on a Tesla. They added the climate icon directly here. So you can do that. And another good thing about this is, let's say if we brought the navigation icon, you can now dock the navigation icon directly here as well. So bring up the navigation quickly. But if you are in this all apps icon and you need to go to navigation icon, you don't have to minimize this. You just press on the navigation and you're able to go back. So they made that a little bit easier as well. Two more upgrade that I really like on this menu is the browser. So when you go to browser, in the past, you could only have this half screen browser. Now, while park, you can have a full screen browser. So you have access to that, which is a very welcome upgrade for me. Then the next one is in the dash cam, the Sentry mode. So if we go to Sentry mode here, and I don't know, like in the past, I would have to click on each of this and go hit this delete icon. Now they made it quick control so that if I was to just swipe this towards the right, I can just easily delete this with no issue. So quickly deleting, I've always wanted this feature and they now made it here. So they added that as well, which is a very welcome update. So another thing they changed with the Sentry mode is that if you go here, Sentry, any of these footages that the Sentry mode records, it now actually sends some of those footages directly to your phone, and now you're able to see those Sentry mode footages. Even without needing to do a live view, you can see the Sentry mode footages saved directly from your phone. One more thing I noticed, and maybe this is not new, but I hadn't noticed that before, is now the Toy Box Arcade and Theater are 3 different apps, not like one app within each other. Because if we go to theater, there is no arcade or anything here because it used to be a sub menu. I don't know when they changed that. Maybe this is not new, but I noticed that now it has got Tesla Theater. These are large funds, and everything is there. Versus if we were to go back to arcade, we see all of those arcade games. So a little bit easier to go between those 3 menu icons. Again, not sure if this is totally new that they changed, but I hadn't noticed that before. Now, another awesome upgrade that they added, I really like, is that even while you're driving or park, if you press on this wiper control button, so if you just press on it once, this wiper menu pops up, right? So that's nothing new. They have had that. Now, what you can do is press on it and you're able to adjust the speed of the wipers by just scrolling through this wheel here. So left wheel, you can adjust the speed, go all the way to off, auto, level 1, 2, 3. You can do all of that. Now you can also do is you can just press on this. So let's say if you're here and then your wiper is set to 1, you can just simply press on this wiper button and you're able to adjust this. So look at that. I'm not doing the scroll wheel. I'm just touching it to cycle through 1, 2, and 3. And it goes back. It does not go to auto or off, but cycling through 1, 2, 3 now is that much easier by just pressing on it. And that's the setting that it will save. And if you want to completely turn off the wiper, you can go there or just leave it in auto and it all goes away. That's super awesome. Now they incorporated that. Now let's go through the menu icon here and show you some of the changes that Tesla has made. First of all, if you look at it here, they made this search setting on the top instead of being its own thing. That way you can just search for anything here and it does not take up the menu space here. It's very, very in the top. That all did not change except for Wi-Fi. They decided to move the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to be its own thing down here. So you have that option in the bottom. If we go to the controls, they made a few changes on the control. First of all, if you look at the fold mirror, child lock, and window lock, they used to be smaller because this glove box used to be up there as well. Now they moved the glove box down, realize people probably don't use that as much, but it's still giving you an easy access from this side, and they enlarged this icon. So fold mirror, child lock, and window lock are larger, so you can see it a little bit better. They also changed this wiper icons. The off and the auto used to be on the opposite side. So auto here, off there, and then 1, 2, 3. Now they made it a little bit easier. So if you want to just turn this off or put it in auto, now it's right here. It's more logical, it's easier, natural. They changed that. Car wash is here. All of that information is exactly like before. Going to the next icon, they changed that. Now this is called dynamics instead of pedal and steering. I think that's what it used to be called. Now it is called dynamic, and now you got the chill and standard versus this steering wheel weight. It used to be called, I believe it used to be called a steering wheel menu. Instead of that, now it's called a steering wheel weight. And it has been changed to light, standard, and heavy. In the past, it used to be called comfort, standard, and sports, I believe. So now they kind of made that natural so people will understand all of that here. Apply brake when regenerative brake is limited, offer acid, all of that is still here. They just changed the names of this menu. Charging, nothing changed. Autopilot, they just changed where you now have the expanded full self-driving visualization, which is what we're going to show you while we're driving. It has that expanded full self-driving now included here. It should be able to show a lot more cars. I'll show you what that looks like. Now they have made a couple of changes to the navigation items. First is this automatic navigation. You can just have automatic navigation set. It will automatically route to home, work, or next calendar up an entry. So that you can set that. Trip planner, that has always been there. This is new, where it is online routing. So it will find the optimal route based on traffic condition, and you can also reroute to save. So it is going to save 10 minutes. It can automatically show a progress bar on top where, okay, this is going to be rerouting automatically because there is traffic, and you can cancel that or you can keep going, but you have that option. This is the big one that they added, is the speed camera chime. So if Tesla detects that there is going to be speed cams, it will show you a chime. But for that, you have to have navigation turned on. You should be navigating to the place, and you need premium connectivity because it uses the traffic data to make this work. So if you don't have premium connectivity, this is not going to work. It is not going to chime at you. So this requires premium connectivity and online routing. So let's go to the navigation and see all the changes that they have made to the actual navigation. So if we were to come up here, we can go on full screen. The navigate is right here, brings this up. Now if I say, okay, take me to the corn wagon, and it is showing with traffic, I have premium connectivity. It is showing me all of the options. I can click on any of the option. But what they changed this time is now you see a progress bar in the bottom. So this is the progress bar that where this navigation is, it is taking us to the location over there in corn wagon. It shows the progress. So as we start driving, this little car icon is going to start moving and it will show live traffic condition of what that looks like on the way. So there is yellow, there is red, and it will show all of that while we start driving. Another upgrade that they made to the navigation is that once the route has passed, the already passed route shows as gray instead of keeping it as blue that Tesla had. And if you look at this icon has moved quite a bit, showing me where we're headed and what the traffic looks like. But this line here is turning gray as we move on the road. So here, if you look at it, that progress bar had changed. I am almost halfway through my destination, and you can see that there. So here is that split immersive view where you can see the navigation on the very top of the icon fully blended in with the main Tesla screen. So here is that expanded view, and you can see a lot more cars on this view, even on the other side. So that really covers a lot of cars in very detailed view. Even the cars that are merging in from the side, you can see here. All the cars in the other side, you can see the back. You can see a lot of cars even in the back, and all of this here. Here is another visualization of how far it can see now. It can see all of those cars on the corner, the cars that are coming in. And this thing is amazing. You can see a lot of stuff in the back, even on the highway back there. The detail is just crazy good. And this has been a thing in the past as well, but in addition to seeing that little icon on the top with this full amazing view and seeing the navigation here, you also see the turn by turn navigation right here. So it shows you where you're headed and when you need to make the next turn. So even though if you choose to just have a FSD view in the middle, you still have an option for that. And if you minimize this, so if you were to minimize that, you of course see the information there. And if you were to take this camera icon there, then it moves here right away. So Tesla has thought this through. Now, there was a rumor that the Intel cars weren't going to get this update, and I was a little sad because my Model 3 is an Intel, my Model Y is an AMD, but Tesla did not leave us out completely because they still gave us most of the update. There's only one thing missing on the Intel cars from this update. That is that full screen visualization, that awesome immersive view. I don't have that on the Intel one. When the car is in park, I can't expand this so that this map is hidden well parked. Well drive, I can still do that, but well parked, I don't have that option. However, as soon as I put my car into drive, I get this full screen view with the map view on the side. So Tesla didn't completely leave us out. It's just that well parked, I don't have that full immersive view that the AMD cars do. Intel cars don't get that. But look, they still have that option where I can click on it and go to the map. I can minimize this. So they still gave us all of that. The menu, everything that I showed you on the AMD version is here on the Intel version as well, with an exception to that full screen view when you first go inside the car. They also added a couple of new updates that are not available for my car, but other cars such as the Model S and X, where this is one of those where you just stand right next to the trunk and then the trunk auto opens as long as you have your key with you in your pocket. This is very cool and very useful feature. So what are your thoughts on this update? Your likes, your dislikes, wish Tesla did things differently? Anything that you want to let me know and share with others, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and come back again for another Tesla video soon.